Welcome to Trending Topics, a brand new weekly show created to discuss social affairs, current affairs, as well as what are we going to be discussing? Culture, of course, culture. What has been going on in the black culture as well as the mainstream culture. The show is actually segmented into two halves. The first 30 minutes is actually going to be dedicated to the first topic, which is the Beyonce backlash. All the backlash she's been receiving via the white media as well as the black media as well. And on the second segment of the show, we've got the next 30 minutes, which is going to be dedicated to Jaden Smith and the whole trans dressing or transgender agenda. I don't know what's going on there. Will Smith, talk to your son. And of course, for all of you lot who actually want to get in and voice your opinion, the calling number should just literally be there. If you're from the UK, just call that number there. If you're from the US, just call that number and literally put in the pin extra as well, and you'll be through with us. Okay. On the panel today, we've actually got three wonderful ladies who will be hosting or co-hosting the show today. We have from the UK, Raketi, who is a member of the Melanin Collectives.
Hi.
Okay. And then, of course, we've got from America, representing the Hebrew community, we've got Tiffany.
Hi.
Excellent. And from the UK, some of you might have seen her before from our Speakers Corner interview. We actually have Tiff in the studio with us. Excellent. So if everybody's actually just tuning in right now, I'm going to implore you to please hit that share button. Let everybody know we are live right now and we're about to go in the Beyonce backlash. So actually, I'm going to get one of our beautiful co-hosts to actually introduce the first topic, and I'm going to pass it over to Raketi.
Thanks, Callum. So we saw last week we saw Beyonce release her video Formation. And it was released on the 6th of February, which was last Saturday, prior to the Superbowl being on the Sunday. So the video includes scenes of where she stood next to a moor in the front of the house. She's also laying across a police car in what looks to be the flooding of New Orleans. And the police car just say New Orleans on the car. And at the end of the video, that kind of sinks. We also see a scene of a young boy dancing in front of a line of police officers where it sort of pans off to the wall saying "Stop killing us," which is also part of the Black Lives Matter movement, which herself and Jay-Z have donated, I believe, 1.5 million just before the release of the video. So basically, as you can see on the screen now, we can see a gentleman with the red cap on and her stood in front with all black and the hat on. Prior to these scenes, you also see a clip of her daughter Blue Ivory sporting an afro. She also claims to love her daughter's hair, baby hair and afros. We also see a scene of her what we want to say representing what looks to be the aristocracy of the black aristocracy. We also see an image of Martin Luther King in there as well. At the beginning of the video, there's lyrics such as "You haters are corny with that Illuminati mess," which kind of lets people know that she is listening, and she can also she's not understanding, but well, some people would say that she's understanding. So what I'm saying is that after watching the video and listening to the song, how has it made you feel? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel enlightened? Has it left a bitter taste in your mouth? And also, if you've seen the performance of the Super Bowl, where she's also paying homage to the Black Panthers, this has left, a bitter taste in white media's mouth, where now they, especially UK media, are coming out and saying that the Black Panthers were a terrorist organisation. They formed in 1966, which now marks the 50 years of their formation, which was by Bobby Seale and Huey Newton. So ladies, I just want to ask you first. Tiffany, how do you feel about this video? What, after seeing it, how did it make you feel?
Well, the video definitely was politically charged, as you can say. She did, she threw in a whole bunch of stuff that is going on today and that the Black community is dealing with around the world. Am I for Beyonce? I'm probably the minority here. I'm going against the majority, which is probably 99.9% for her. I do not like Beyonce. I did like her when she first came out and released her first solo album. Since then, she's did a major change. It's definitely not the same person she was when she first came out. But yeah, no, I didn't think the video was empowering. I think it was it stirred a lot of controversy, and whether it's negative or positive, that's what she wanted to do.
Okay. Tiff?
Yes.
Hey. After watching the video, did you watch it when it actually first released? First thing,
I did.
it was early hours in the morning, wasn't it?
How could I not? It's all over Facebook. So yeah, I did see it. Originally, I thought, oh, she hasn't retired.
Yeah.
No, I think the video was very good in terms of symbolism. I think it showed a lot. It said a lot, and it's something that needed to happen for us. I think one way or another, the people that are viewed the most, watched the most, need to start contributing to the revolution.
Yeah.
So,
I'll post this to Tiffany. Do you feel that she's used the pro-black platform to, sort of generate ticket sales and interest in her tour, her upcoming tour? Because sometimes, basically, well, what I'm going to say is that when she did the Nicki Minaj and Beyonce video, prior to that, they donated money to the people that was, I think it was, I can't remember where it was. She played it. Where was it, Tiff? Where she paid the bank, their bail.
where did she post bail?
She paid these people's bail.
Yeah, she paid for some people that were locked up for protesting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Tiffany, how do you feel that she's used the pro-black community as a platform to generate sales? Do you reckon? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I do. Why does she need a platform to get her point across? She has all the money. I mean, she has money. She has all the money in the world right now. Why does she need to set herself on a platform to get sales and to get herself out there? I mean, where was she when all this was happening with Freddie Gray? And I mean, there's stuff prior to recent stuff going down in the world right now. Where was she then? When she did go out there with the Black Lives Matter movement, there was a lot of controversy then. A lot of people didn't want her out there because she was basically saying that she wanted the attention. I wasn't there, I don't know, but that's what was the rumor.
That's interesting. And you know what? For all of you who are actually watching on the YouTube right now, and you want to come in and actually have your say and discuss the video and discuss also the performance at the Super Bowl as well, and everything that's been going on in the media, the link literally is down below in the description box. If you're watching right now live and you're in the chat section, just literally reload and you'll be able to see the numbers down below. Alternatively, literally right now it's on my screen. You can see the UK number literally right there, and you can also see the US number that you have to phone in with the pin as well. And also, please, if you're liking the topic so far and you want to hear more, please give us a big thumbs up and let us know. All right. But real quickly, I'm gonna actually just read out some comments that's actually going on right now inside of the
Okay.
comment section of the YouTube, so we can get a bit interactive. I want to be interactive. I want everybody to come in and have their say. This is from Jamelo330. She says, "Hello all. As for the guys dancing in the video, remember the video was representing New Orleans. All of the imagery is part of the culture of New Orleans. This includes guys dancing." So I think earlier on, it was mentioned that the guys who were actually dancing in the video looked a bit homosexual. Has
Can
anybody
you
got
get
anything
that
to say
image?
to that?
Are you able to get the image up for that? Because I watched the video, but I don't actually remember that scene.
I
I'm
think
just
it's
trying to
right at the beginning. There is actually one guy who's kind of in front of a mirror. I think he's not even wearing any top at all, but he was really winding himself up in a very feminine manner.
Right. Okay.
So I know
Um,
a lot of the conscious community, you know, aren't really feeling that.
I remember what you're talking about now. But Beyonce has supported the Pride and gay movement openly. That's her thing. But I think we need to just focus on the message. To be honest, I'm not bothered about that side of it. That's her own thing. It's not my thing. It's hers. But I think the main message she was trying to put across was stop shooting us, and you know, look after people when there's a hurricane type thing. She probably did have an agenda to push forward for gay rights, because she has support. I've seen her support gay rights and the gay movement anyway, so it doesn't shock me.
So as Tiffany was saying earlier on about, you know what, when she was coming out for the Black Lives Movement, and people were like, we don't really want you here because it feels like you're taking the shine away from us. Do you think that she's actually, you know, Beyonce's actually just adopting this pro-black image to kind of fuel the publicity for like her upcoming tours? Because if you look right now, you can go to like the Breakfast Club, for example, and you will see her banner for the tour is up. You know what, like, was that literally a publicity stunt, or is she really down for the black movement and the cause?
I I don't really know, because it's like I've said to the girls that, you know, this does not impact on my life. It's in like, she doesn't pay my bills. She isn't going to come and look after my child. You know what I mean? This is for people that are very much that focus on, you know, celebrities. You know, like Tiff has already said that. You know what I mean? This is for people that are focusing on celebrities day in, day out. This isn't something that I do. I do give her props for doing it, because it's a massive risk. You know, Jay-Z has done the same, you know, within his career. But like there's a track called The Minority Report that he did with Neo. That isn't even on YouTube anymore. You know, what it seems to be is that Jay-Z is probably moving a lot of the tracks to Tidal. You know, so you can only view Formation on certain websites, but more or less you listen to the full track on Tidal. So this could be kind of a publicity stunt, you know. But
does it matter?
She is a human at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? She is still going to feel that, you know, she might be seeing these things on the TV at home and being like, that is my community. Do you know what I mean? What can I do? And her and Jay-Z have probably worked together to do this explosive video. Everyone's talking about it. We're doing a show about it. So she's done her job. You know what I mean?
So my thing is, I didn't actually ask myself, oh, is she doing this for money? Is she doing this for more fame or to be relevant again? One could argue that she has enough money. I don't think it's about money per se. And I don't think it really matters. Even if her agenda was to make more money, the message is still being sent. Where, as you said, we're having this discussion. A lot of white-based media platforms are discussing black issues because of what Beyonce has done. So, I mean, either way, the message is received and the message is being sent out. Just a quote, my partner just sent me a quote, and it says, "A deception that elevates us is deeper than a host of low truths," by Alexander Pushkin, which, there you go.
And you know what? I've just seen one of our other co-hosts has literally just joined us. So I'd like to just welcome her, Courtney, from Team Osset. Greetings to you, sis.
Peace, everybody.
Peace. So I don't know if you heard anything so far, but you want to just piggyback in on anything?
Well, what was the question?
Go on,
Oh,
ladies.
Was everybody gonna give
Yeah, basically, Courtney, we're just discussing about Beyonce's video, and basically she using the pro-black platform to generate, you know, interest in her tour. Does she actually give a damn? Do you know what I mean? That's basically, in a nutshell, what we're discussing.
Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody is really going to be able to say for a fact whether she cares or not. I think the important part is that people are actually talking about things that need to be discussed. I guess it's arguable that there are plenty of people in her position. There are a lot of athletes, there are a lot of black celebrities, and they don't use their fame to bring attention to any of the things that we go through.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, whether she gives a damn or not, I mean, I don't know, but a lot of people who do give a damn now could have a voice because of what she did.
Exactly.
I don't agree with her, everything that she does. I'm not 100% standing behind her image, you know, but you can't expect perfection. There's a lot of people that we glorify in the so-called conscious community, and that we revolutionaries who we don't acknowledge certain things about them that we say about her. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people that we consider to be revolutionaries that are feminists.
Yeah.
Or that are very inclusive approach to how they want to be revolutionary. So I'm happy that, you know, the attention is being focused on things that needs to be highlighted. That's my thing about what she did.
Because like in the media in the UK at the minute, they're actually, you know, like there's articles about, you know, labelling the Black Panthers as a terrorist organisation. Now she's created the conversation where we actually going to be educating our youth the true story of the Black Panthers, and that is something that I did yesterday to my radio show listeners. Do you know what I mean? To set the record straight about what they did, you know.
And not just in the black community. This would be a chance to educate the whites as well.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
And before we actually go into that, into the Black Panther situation, I would actually like to invite somebody in from our phoning in line. Okay, so someone's phoning in. I believe it's Cameron who's just phoned in, and he would like to have his say. So bear with me.
I'm heard. Everyone can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Greetings, kings, queens, in this discussion. You know, I've seen both. You know, before I made a comment on anything, I made sure that I watched the video. I watched the video at least 3-4 times and made sure I got a clear view of what was happening. I watched the performance at the Super Bowl, and I'm very enlightened to what I saw. And you know, when these type of things happen, the first thing on my mind is it a publicity stunt? Because my third eye has to be open towards, while everybody's got their focus there, what's happening on the other side. So I made sure I looked at all sides of it. Now, while everybody said, oh, Beyonce's done this and it's affected what a lot of people have called, like I've seen people say, why did she have to bring race to the Super Bowl? And in my head I was thinking, well, number one, it's Black History Month in the United States right now. So she has a right to have empowerment and celebrate that right. The formation of the X in, you know, recognition of the powerful Malcolm X, you know, the females dressed as Black Panthers. Obviously, I wasn't expecting the tight jeans and the tight jackets because you can't dance the way that they were dancing in that exact uniform. So I understood the reason for the attire. I understood that they also had the arena in rainbows, which represented the LGBT, to which like they're shedding light on the love, they're shedding light on Black history as well. And at the same time, I also looked and I said, well, while everybody's getting mad at this situation and downgrading Beyonce, I asked myself, why are we, and I'm seeing a lot of Black people do it, downgrading another Black sister for making such an empowering move? Because I've seen people say she didn't need to do that, and when we talk about she's got all the money in the world, you're right, she does. She could have stayed far away from this type of thing, but the fact that she embraced her husband's wide nostrils as a Black man, the fact that she embraced her daughter's hair, those nappy roots, her Creole, you know, her Creole representation from her mom's side, you know, her Alabama father, you know what I'm saying? That's the South. If ever you needed to know about it, you know what I mean? That's where oppression was very well big, you know what I mean? So when you're seeing her embrace it and she's talking about it and she's saying, you mix those two together and you come out with me, this woman that you embrace, this woman that you love for the pop music I do, embrace me for my roots, embrace me for who I am as a person behind the music. Because you got to remember, a lot of songs that Beyonce puts out, she don't write. She got 10 to 12 different writers on a song, right? And when it's playing on the radio, when it's making everybody jump and happy, you know, to go back into old school talking, Massa is very happy. He's getting his money. He's getting paid for the radio. He's getting paid for what goes on the TV. But when it starts to become one of those things where, no, you got to stop killing us, though. You got to stop using us as your prophet and expecting to get away with it and shooting us down whenever you feel like it. No, stop killing us. Appreciate me for who I am. I'm a Black woman. I'm embracing my Black roots. Let me do that. I love the empowerment. I love where she's gone with it. I'm not going to down talk her like I've seen other people down talk her. Yeah, I've seen some things like, for instance, I don't agree with her personal views on the whole Sasha Fierce thing, but that's neither here or there. But it's what she's done recently, and what she has done recently is that she's embraced Black culture, and it's beautiful. Is she using it so it promotes her show? If she is, then she's bringing people to see a show where there's going to be a lot of Black unity. There's going to be a lot of she's going to celebrate that fact. She's going to put out her single. She's going to let that be known. They're not going to tell her what she can and cannot do. You know what I mean? How are you going to tell someone who's got...
Thank you, my brother. I do apologize. We can't go on too much because we're limited for time. So I'm going to thank you. Thank you for your input, and just continue watching in on YouTube. No
Okay.
Cool.
I just want to say that a lot of things that we're focusing at the moment a lot on her motivation and whether she's genuine and whether she's trying to get a check and etc. etc. But remember that she took this performance that was focused on highlighting Black Lives Matter movement and highlighting other social issues that we have within our community. And I remember I watched a documentary and it said that the NFL fan base and attendees is 77% affluent white people. So at the end of the day, she went to them and she said, guess what? I'm going to represent my people. I'm going to push this forward and make sure that you know what's happening, and we're here to stay, and we're going to gain back our power. So at the end of the day, that message was sent to them. And that's why there's so much of a white outrage, because she brought an issue onto a Western platform, if you will. Yeah. Furthermore to that, is the new leader of the Black Panther movement has actually saluted Beyonce, and he has written a brief statement, which I'm going to read. He says, if an artist does nothing and pays the movement zero attention, we condemn them as being sellouts. If an artist tries to do the right thing, some of us nitpick and criticize them as not being authentic or genuine. Others outright hate because their Black power expression has not been recognized by anyone. You are all no better than the narrow-minded Jews of the New Testament. And the ones doing the most criticizing have never done the real Panther work and are likely not to ever do the real Black Panther work, or even the real grind liberation work. Therefore, we who are affiliated with the new Black Panther Party give Sister Beyonce a strong black hand. We love her and applaud our sister. She went out on a limb for us. And I know for sure Dr. Khalid would agree with me here. And that's by Malik Zulu Shabazz, Chairman Emeritus of the new Black Panther Party. So, can we address that, please?
Yeah, yeah. He's bang on, I think. Do you know what I mean? And I think that, like Tiff said earlier before we went on air, you know, it's also for us to look at ourselves as well. You know, what can we take from this video? Do you know what I mean? If we didn't like it, what didn't you like about it? What are you doing for yourself to help your community? You know, Tiff's doing something, I'm doing something, Callum's doing something, Tiffany's doing something, and we're here today discussing it to enlighten people about the truth, you know. Yeah. You know,
I'm happy she went on and addressed all of the issues, because she does have such a major pull, just worldwide, just to make people aware of what is going on. But let's not make it convenient. I mean, let's not be conveniently black. I mean, let's just see how long this lasts. Is this gonna last for the tour, or is this gonna last? This is not a phase. Conscious is not a phase.
Tiffany, I know where you're coming from, because trust me, I was the same one on Facebook, you know, going in on Beyonce when she bought a pair of shoes for how many £1,000. And I was thinking, hold on a minute, what are we doing here? But she has put money in, and she's put $1.something million into the Black Lives Matter movement. She's not going to get it back, you know. So
they do get tax breaks on donating to charities, though.
Yeah, get tax breaks. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? I'm not. That doesn't kill the movement. It doesn't kill my consciousness. It doesn't kill the community. If anything, it's waking people up. Because as I was saying earlier, we as conscious people, we are focused on self-development, on our community and what we're going to put forward. However, there are a lot of us that are not. And those people are plugged into the matrix, if you will, and those people are watching Beyonce every day, and those people will go to a concert and spend how much pounds on it and dollars on it. So they're the people that I feel need to be reached by the people that have the power to do so. And Beyonce is one of those people.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, real quickly again, we've got another caller calling in from the UK. We've actually got some more callers from the US, which we will get on shortly. But I'm going to just introduce Glenn from the UK to have his say. Go ahead, Glenn.
I just wanted to say that I feel like if Beyonce didn't do anything, there would be like this whole she's a sellout and blah blah. She's not helping out the movement, and now she has done something. She just she could have done better. She hasn't done enough. But I feel like it's the fact that she's done something. Like there are a lot of people out there who aren't doing anything, and I feel like every little helps towards the movement. That's what I want to say.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to bring that back to our hosts.
I do think Tiffany did bring up an interesting point about how long it's going to last. I mean, I think it's something to consider to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, is this kind of like a fad? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it kind of the trendy thing to be conscious, and now you want to jump on the bandwagon because it's trendy? I'm not taking anything away from, you know, from what she did. I respect what she did. I salute what she did. But then what happens when she goes back to being the way she was before?
Promoting her little L'Oreal makeup line that's for Europeans.
Right. L'Oreal, I think you're talking about when that was one of the things that was very disturbing to me. I was very offended by that.
Me
when
too.
When I think it was CoverGirl L'Oreal or one of them, when they was basically breaking down her ethnicity.
Exactly.
And it was like African American, Creole, and French.
Right.
And I was just kind of like, French, like,
Right, right.
where did that come from? You know. So while I salute what she did, I'm kind of with Tiffany on that. She can't be off the hook 100%. You know what I mean? Like, we do have to acknowledge that she has and still continues to do some questionable things. And for a lot of people, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, she's actually she represents Black womanhood. I mean, she's a mega pop star. Everybody knows who she is, and we gotta acknowledge that whether we personally want to say that she's our idol or whatever, or someone that we want to say that we look up to, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, that's what some people think of when they think of a Black woman. They think of Beyonce. She's the image. Is that the image that we want for ourselves?
Good question. Good question.
Yeah,
And you know what? Real quickly, I've got somebody in from America who would like to also have their say. So bear with me. Bear with me. Could everybody else just mute their mics? One drop. And let me bring her in. Okay. Monifa?
Hi, how are you?
Great. Can everybody hear Monifa?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on leave for calling from Florida
I can't hear her.
for the first time.
Yep, go ahead, Monifa. Just speak a little bit louder for everybody.
Okay, I'm Monifa calling from Florida, just listening in for the first time. Well, calling in for the first time. I've listened before, but I'm just calling in for the first time.
Okay, go ahead. Did you want to say anything?
No, not right now. I'm just listening in. I'm interested in the topic. I have a lot to say because I've been listening to Talk with the Titans for a while, and I'm interested in a lot of the symbolisms that Beyonce had in her video. But I'd like to hear more of what the other ladies thought about the symbolisms, like the more, and all the other symbolisms that she had in the video, and was she really trying to reach out, or were they strategically placed? Was it like the lady said earlier? Was it just planned like that? So I'm interested in hearing what the other ladies have to say.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, and real quickly, yes.
Like her.
Let me just go quickly. Yeah, it's actually interesting because she actually did represent quite a lot of individuals within that video. I don't know if anybody actually caught it when
Yeah,
she...
do you know what would be interesting is, like, we've got a caller that is she from New Orleans?
She's from, I believe she's from Florida.
Right, okay. Well, I'd like to, at first, because if we think about a couple of months ago, she was apparently going to be writing the film and actually play Sarah Bartman, and she got backlash from that, from the conscious community, not even just from the conscious community, the community as a whole, saying that, anybody that was aware of what Sarah Bartman went through, Beyonce wasn't the right person to play Sarah Bartman. She didn't look like her, she didn't have the same complexion as her, body shape, or anything like that, to do her justice. It should have been somebody, that was of African descent, or even that was African, that had the shape of Sarah Bartman, that could act as well. And so when this video came about, because she released a statement saying that she wasn't actually going to do it, and then this video comes about, day before, apparently her and Jay-Z donated to Black Lives Matter. Then this video comes out, then she does the Super Bowl, and then she's going on tour. So yeah, at first I was like, is this a publicity stunt? I've watched it again and I've been like, do you know what, I quite like it, but it doesn't really affect my life. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm actually doing things within my own community. So I'm busy. I'm not watching TV every 2 minutes. I'm not listening to music every 2 minutes. I'm actually busy making progress,
Okay, excellent.
So yeah, it's not impacting me that much.
Thank you. Real quickly, I've got somebody else calling in from the UK, Mia from Manchester. She would also like to have her say.
Good evening, sisters. Good evening. Greetings to everybody. I'm enjoying the chat so far. My contribution is this. From listening to the song, because I work with young people, I had to listen to the song. I wouldn't usually listen to the song. But I just didn't see that she said anything at all to me. It was just vapor. It was vague upon vague upon vague on steroids, in my opinion. Didn't add anything or wasn't revolutionary in any sense to me. And I'm just wondering, are we now all saying that the corporations and the large investors and the people who have interest and own Beyonce, the Superbowl, and the advertising who get to say what is allowed and what is not allowed in society, in wider society normally? And are we saying that they're now allowing black empowerment? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. That seems really naive. The only positive thing that I've grasped from Beyonce's new video is, again, making it relevant, making the Black Panthers relevant. I think a lot of the time we get confused by idolizing the messenger and forgetting the message. If people are really inspired by Beyonce, do what she does best, which is capitalize and capitalize on the situation. Let's make some money out of this and let's educate young people. If we're able to maintain conversations for this long about what Beyonce is doing, I ask, are people able to maintain conversations as long on the subject matter? Do they know as much as they know about Beyonce as they do about the Black Panthers?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
She's got a point there.
Yes, she has an excellent point there.
So what I'll say to that is, as I said earlier, like Sister Mia said, is that she said a lot of things vaguely. It's very light. It's not a lot. She didn't do a lot in respect of, I don't know, a movement, as it were. But she did so little, and it's had so much of a backlash, which just goes to show that any little thing to do with black people, look how everyone behaves on both fronts. Because she's getting backlash from the country's community, she's getting backlash from Westerners. And I think that it's important that we are careful with the way we respond to things like that. Same thing when Jada made a video about the Oscars. Sorry to go off topic, just quickly. But same thing when Jada made a video talking about the Oscars and people of colour not being acknowledged for their talent. We started attacking her. Oh, you're just doing it because you want money and da-da-da-da-da-da. This is not what we're meant to be doing here. The message is important. Beyonce is important. Jaden Smith is not important. The message is important. And if the person sending the message has influence, then I'm not going to argue with it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Can I also piggyback on that? The caller said that she didn't see anything revolutionary about the performance of the video, but if you read those lyrics, I actually read the lyrics. Sometimes you don't read the lyrics because you're listening to the beat, and you're looking at the imagery and you're not really listening to what's being said. And those lyrics are hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like that, those were not her typical, sexy, look at me bragging type. It was kind of bragging, but not in that way. Like those lyrics to me were very revolutionary. I can't agree completely with what the caller said, but I do agree with the last part she said. We're gonna make this issue about Beyonce such a big thing that we forget the more important thing that we should be talking about. I think that's important.
And you know what? I personally thought, the lyrics were kind of revolutionary. Those weren't normal Beyonce all pop lyrics, full stop. Let me just quote something here. I like my baby hair with baby hair and afros. I like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils. Come on, swag. That's just not normal Beyonce. I thought that was a big statement, and even watching the backup dancers with their afros out, I was like, yes, go on.
But the thing is, I've never seen Beyonce with her natural hair. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. I haven't either.
I don't think Jaden has either.
And even like I've got my hair in protected don't get me wrong, I've got my hair in protective style. My hair is natural. There is no chemicals in my hair whatsoever. I impose that onto my daughter as well. Do you know what I mean? But what she's saying in the song is that I've heard you lot saying things about me, saying things about my partner, saying things about my baby, even down to my baby having nappy hair. I've heard people making nasty comments, even about her daughter. You don't make comments about people's kids, regardless of how high up they are. Do you know what I mean? But what she's saying to people is that, do you know what? Fuck you. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't give a damn. I'm still making this paper. You lot are going to still sign up to Tidal. You're still going to buy my concert tickets. You're still watching my video, even though you hate me so much so. Do you know what I mean? She's still saying, I am that bitch. Do you know what I mean? And whether we want to see it derogatory, whether we want to see it positively, you know what I mean? We are still making conversation about it, regardless of whether we like it or not.
That's right. You know,
we are still here today talking about her. So she's winning.
Let me just quickly piggyback off that one. You know, because one of her closing lines of the lyric says, "You know, you that bitch when you cause all this conversation."
All that conversation.
And we're conversating about her right now. But you know
and
what?
what she's saying is stay gracious as well. Stay gracious, because the best revenge is your paper.
Your papers. There you go. You know, 1 second. We've got somebody else from the UK calling in. We've got my brother Tope calling in. And I'm going to allow him to have his say right now. Give me a second. Go ahead, my brother.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Go ahead, my brother.
Oh, I can talk now?
Yes.
Oh, wow. This live feed is watching it and you guys are still talking. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm going to put my 2 cents on this because I've been hearing about it at work, and I'm going to keep it brief and short. I've been in two minds about it. The first time I heard about it, I was of the mind that, oh, Beyonce's finally jumped on the bandwagon. Like most people, I was quick to criticize. But I feel at this moment in time is an awakening that's going on across the black race. And I will not be quick to jump like we have been before to criticize the leaders, or, well, not leaders, those who represent the bourgeoisie in the black community, only because I remember talking about and reading of what Marcus Garvey has said about rich black folk in terms of when they get to their position, they don't generate or do anything that helps the community, whereas the white bourgeoisie, they're philanthropic, they give to their community, so on and so forth, they push their messages, etc., so on and so forth. Hearing about what she's doing in terms of the Black Panther movement and all of that, what she's doing in the Super Bowl, I understand there's a lot of negative that she's portrayed with it. There's a lot of people that argue against the gay message, about the way she's presenting women, the feminist movement. But I would just throw out the question is that she's actually putting out something that that with all the current issues that's happening around black people right now, we can use as a wave to ride. I couldn't really care less about the actual messenger, but I do care about the message. And yes, the message is not perfect, but it's a message that's hit every sort of media platform at the moment, and that's a prime time for most of those who are clued in and educated to go nitpick and say, this is where that's wrong, this is where that's wrong, and this is where you need to be looking at, so on and so forth. You also need to consider the younger generation are listening to this and watching this, white minds, black minds, Asian minds all around the world, and that's definitely going to have an impact, whether she's doing it for money, publicity, or whatever her reasons are. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, my brother. I love
Can I bring something to the table? I mean,
Definitely.
can I not like that, but can I ask a question? Because I think he brought up an interesting point, and it was something that I wanted to segue into. Because I know the second part of this conversation was supposed to be about Jaden Smith. I don't know if we're even going to have the time to really get into that.
We definitely. Did you want to go into Jaden Smith right now? Is that what you wanted to do?
No. I actually wanted to kind of segue into it because, like the caller brought out, when we watched the Super Bowl, there was a lot of, LGBT kind of symbolism with the flowers and the whatever else Coldplay was doing. And then in the song itself, you have an ad-lib by a very popular, openly gay male in New Orleans. I believe the man who was doing the ad-libs in the background is a dancer. I don't remember his name, but he's pretty famous in New Orleans, and he has a dance troupe, and he's well known. So a lot of the backlash that she was getting from the conscious community is the fact that she is using this message and using a supposed, pro-black message and aligning it with LGBT. And I wanted to know what do we think about that? Is that something that we applaud? Is that something that we don't? Do we think message that makes the message less conscious because she included them? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Okay, we're going to definitely go into that. I just want to say that we're literally reaching the end to the first segment of the show, and we need to kind of segue into the second segment of the show very shortly. So we're going to wrap it up, but we're definitely going to have these questions answered right now. But before that, actually, if you haven't already subscribed to Titans TV, please hit the subscribe button down below. As well, if you want to have your say, literally phone in the number. I believe the number is literally right there across the screen. The Hangouts link is actually included down below as well in the description box, as well as the American phone-in number, Uber phone-in number as well. And please, if you're watching this and you're loving the information, share it like crazy. Get your friends, your families involved with the conversation, and give us a big thumbs up as well. You know what? So please, sisters, you heard the question. Please answer it, and let's try to wrap it up as soon as possible.
Tiffany, I want to hear what you have to say.
That's a whole different topic. Can you be conscious and be
homosexual?
Can you? I don't know.
Oh, well.
Can you be conscious and can you be strutting around over sexualizing women like Beyonce doing? Can you be that?
That's a big one, because we got a whole bunch of that going on in the conscious community. That goes on all the time.
Yeah, it does. It does. But we're gonna talk about it.
See,
let's bring it out. Bring it out.
You can be conscious as a woman and be sexy. Do you know what I mean?
But shaking your booty, shaking your butt in a video, and then all of a sudden you want to portray Sarah Bartman, which was overly sexualized.
Well, do you know what? It's funny you should say that, Tiffany, because somebody did say, does she actually, identify with Sarah Bartman? Do you know what I mean? Because her dad, sort of pushed her into the media, into the limelight. When she was in Destiny's Child, she was always at the forefront, wasn't she? And done by her father. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that's the same as playing Sarah Bartman. Do you know what I mean? Because she had a choice. She still did it, even after she sacked her dad. Do you know what I mean? Her last album, with the track Flawless and Drunk in Love, you know what I mean? She was very sexual.
Partition?
That one. She was very sexual. But, do you know what? I do pole dancing. I don't do it in a club, but I do it as a fitness. Do you know what I mean? But I'm still reading and enlightening myself. So people might say, "Oh, well, you're doing something that strippers do." Do you know what I mean? But no.
But she's in the limelight. She's making a video, shaking her ass. and I have 3 children that I'm raising to be queens, to be to hold an epitome of a queen. You have to have certain. You have to hold. You can
shake your ass in front of your man, but not on TV. Okay.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, listen, what was he doing in Africa, please? How did we express ourselves in Africa? If you really want to take it there, how did we express ourselves in Africa? Where did twerking even come from? You see
well, the Ivory Coast, innit? Mapuka. Do you know what I mean? People don't know that.
I love me some twerking. Okay, sorry.
Well, seriously, we're gonna get. I'm not mad at her for twerking in the video because she, the artist, as Nina Simone says. Let me get this quote: "An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times." Beyonce reflects the times perfectly, and she's and as I said, who is watching her? You know what I mean? Who is watching?
Precisely. We're still watching her. Do you know what I mean?
But what about? What about the question about the LGBT thing? Like, what do you think about that?
Girl, I'm gonna
because it kind of segues into Jaden Smith a little. I think
it does, and I think we're gonna have to just stop right there. and cut talking about Beyonce. I think we could talk about Beyonce all day long.
Yes.
But right about now, we're actually running overtime. So I would love to actually now segue into the second section of the show where we will be touching on the transgender agenda, the feminization of the black man, or the population agenda as well. So I don't know if has anybody got any last closing words on the Beyonce thing? And we could just quickly move over.
Let's just see how long it lasts. That's all.
I salute the message. I give her props for saying something for once that she needed to have said a long time ago, but I salute her for it either way.
All right. So now, who's actually going to introduce the second section of the show? I would like Tiffany to introduce the Jaden Smith section.
Quendo, which...
Tiffany Okwando.
Yeah, Tiffany. Yes, Jaden Smith. What can we say about that one? Well, obviously he's been all in the media. You know, you've seen him all over the internet with photos wearing female clothes, and now he wants rumors to change his gender, basically wanting to be a woman. So questions, is there an agenda behind it? He's now the face of Louis Vuitton womenswear, the only black male wearing women's clothes. You don't see any European men wearing women's clothes or the face of a woman's clothing line. So is this is it an attack against black males to make them effeminate?
I don't know if it's true, but I've also heard that Louis Vuitton was a racist. So even modelling for a brand that is, you know, sort of been labelled as a racist is something I wouldn't do anyway. And we used to wear, you know, if you look at, you know, in our history, you know, men have wore dresses and skirts. Do you know what I mean? I heard that he was actually doing it for the money. He wasn't even actually bothered.
Hold on. I have to cut you there. Because I'm like the only man on the panel, so I have to cut you there. What do you mean that men used to wear dresses and skirts? I don't know about that one.
I wouldn't think, you know what I mean? Basically, I've seen images of our ancestors actually wearing
but it wasn't considered to be women's wear. It wasn't considered women's wear.
Yeah.
Right.
It was men's wear for what they were doing. So he's wearing something that is women's wear. And the fact that you brought out that Louis Vuitton was a racist, that further highlights the point. That goes to show, like, that right there means that I believe that there's an agenda being pushed behind it, because you're modeling for a women's wear campaign for a racist fashion house. Like, and you're okay with it. I don't know. I've heard about him wanting to change his gender. I don't know. I think that's kind of a rumor. I don't know how true it is. But he did say, supposedly, allegedly, that if somebody paid all of these people $10 million, that they would wear a dress too. So I mean, and it's not something that is just that he's not the only one doing this. Every time you turn around, when you look at a lot of black male celebrities, that's what they have to do. It seems like an agenda is being pushed behind it. Every black celebrity that you can think of, every black actor has had to dress in drag at some point.
True. Did Will Smith actually have to dress as drag, or did he act as a homosexual man?
Yes,
6 degrees of separation.
That's it right there. You know what? Real quickly, we've also got another caller calling in from the UK, London, that wants to have her say on this topic. So I'm going to introduce my sister Nicole to the mix. Nicole?
Hello.
Yep, you're live.
Hi. So what I wanted to say about this topic is that I do believe there is an effeminate agenda, especially in regard to the black community. But I do believe that there's a deeper thing that's going on, and I believe that's an androgynous agenda, and the fact that they're trying to blur the lines between male and female, because you see Will Smith, his sister, dresses, you know, much like a boy at some times, kind of blurs between the lines of is she gay, is she not gay, with shaving her head, do you know what I mean? And then you've got Jaden Smith, who obviously is coming out wearing a dress, but at the same time, he's, you know, photographed with a woman, you know, showing that he has a girlfriend. So I don't know whether they're trying to make it seem as though it's okay for a man to kind of dress like a woman, and it's also okay for women to dress like men, because if we're talking about the black community, you've got a lot of black women acting more and more masculine that are dressing like men. There's been a rise in more lesbian women, or studs as they like to call themselves. And what I believe is that, you know, there's a big, deeper truth. It's not just attacking the men, it's the women as well. And that's kind of what I wanted to say on this topic.
Thank you.
No worries, take care.
I think what's happening at the moment is this trend of gender fluid, where you're not, you don't recognise yourself as a male or female. I think this is what seems to be the thing at the minute.
They're blurring the line.
Yeah, it seems to be a trend at the minute, doesn't it? This gender, and it to the point where I heard the other day in the UK, they have actually added another couple of letters onto the LGBT. It's LGBTIQ or something now, which actually refers to gender fluid. So they're actually recognising it as...
Well, they're also implementing it in the school system here in the States.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So can we be conscious of the fact that, you know, they're trying to break down a lot of fixed structures, so that there's an illusion of inclusivity. So, you know, be who you want to be, express yourself. There's no, you know, female or male. You know, just blur the lines, do what you like, and it's all, I think, to confuse the upcoming generation. It's too much mess. I don't agree with it at all. I don't.
You see what we was actually talking about this earlier on today, where I think they're starting to create a new species of the human family, and I think they're calling it. I'm personally calling the neutrinoid. The neutrinoid species. What I mean by that is
neutrinoid.
Yes, the neutrinoid, because we have neutrinoid races, or a neutrinoid race, should I say, where you can't tell if they're black, they're white, they're Chinese, they're Asian. They're kind of a mixture of everything, but you couldn't place your finger on which one exactly they are. And now we're moving into the neutrinoid gender, where you can't tell if they're male or female, or they once were male, but now they are a woman, or they once were a woman and now they're a man. And to make it worse than that, we're now seeing women who were once, we're now seeing men who once were women now having babies. So you're seeing a big-bellied man, apparent man, having a baby, and now it's kind of like a normal thing.
Sorry, Kalam, has that actually happened? Or I thought he was...
Yeah, there was that man, he was on Oprah's show. He was a woman, and he he was a woman, and then he became a man, and they wanted to have a baby, so he was pregnant.
Yeah, I remember that.
Made a manufactured womb or something. I didn't know they actually... Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, in terms of this Jaden thing, you know, when it comes to actually looking at the advert, you know, think about the people that be actually looking at the promotional material, you know, for Louis Vuitton. You know, in my home, I try not to push, you know, like about brands and designers and things like that. So it doesn't really come into my realm. Do you know what I mean? But I've watched the video with Will Smith, and he doesn't really want to answer the question. He doesn't really want to address it full on. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, he just wants to express himself, you know? If he's gay, then come out and say you're gay. But you can't, you know, saying that you're both kind of starts confusing people.
Damn that, okay? I have a son. If he stumbles out of my closet wearing my dress, it's a problem. I'm sorry. You could call me what you want. You could say that I'm a homophobe. I don't really care. It's a problem. It's a problem for me.
It starts at home. It starts at home. So the question is, what did Will and Jada doing about it?
Yeah.
What have they done?
I've heard that Will's gay.
He is gay, and he looks like it. He is, because even when he played on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he always portrayed a gay woman. Always.
Hold on. before we get into the realms of slander, let me actually invite somebody else. We've got our brother Tope as well from London, who definitely wants to get involved with this particular topic. So give me 1 second. Let me introduce him right now, my brother Tope.
Hello, I'm back again. Sorry, this one really gets me upset because this one, I gotta say, hands down, I see there's an attack on the black on the black community. Period. I see it as an attack because I'm an artist. I'm an actor. Do whatever. I'll just say I'm an artist. First and foremost, I'll say that because I've seen over loads of things I've been watching on TV. I've watched some stuff because I'm into it, and this is what my profession's in. And one of the things I've seen is, I don't know if anyone's watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's a comedy. I've seen one of the leading black characters, Captain Holt. Amazing character, fantastic, funny, one of the best guys I've seen. He's a gay married man. Now I don't have any problem with that, but I wondered why. Now hold your thoughts, people. Then second person, another guy who's in The Flash, another American TV series. A smart, very intelligent black guy who's now working for Queen Consolidated, whatever the company is. Another gay, effeminate black guy who is clever, has all the good qualities of a black man, but happens to be effeminate or homosexual. Now, what Jaden is doing, it really upsets me, because if he was doing this from day one, fair enough. I might not agree with it, but he was doing it from day one. This is a big thing I consider to be, why is this happening? Because we're seeing men all of a sudden just say, you know what, I want to be a woman. And I wonder if it's a ploy or a sort of I'll keep it short, a sort of a ploy or a tact, in which where the fathers weren't there to look after their sons and give them the guiding or the structure in which to be a man, because that has been going on and still men have been growing out of that, they're like, well, maybe we should throw in that the fact you can be a woman and totally disrupt it, because now men are being born out where men weren't there to take care and raise men. So boys have had to become men themselves. I know, because I've grown up as a single young man, and I might not be the most masculine of guys, but I definitely know, and my mom has set the boundaries in which this is where you are and this is what you're supposed to be. And I think we do need rules, we do need boundaries, because if you don't, you get anarchy and chaos. If you start mixing things too much, you get problems. That's what I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that. Peace.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Who wants to go? Tiffany. You go. But
well, I mean, like I said before, you don't see any other race portraying a woman as a face of any type of women's wear. I mean, this has been going on lately with the black male, and I mean, you obviously can see that there's an agenda going on. I mean, they're trying to effeminate the black male. So that's the European agenda. Period. Like, it's genocide. It's genocide. It's basically genocide. Corrupt the black male. You won't have any more black families. No more black children. That's how you white it out.
Yeah. It seems to be, it's like one end of the spectrum to the other. You know, it's either the hypersexual or the effeminized. Do you know what I mean? There's none of this empowering the black woman or the black man. You know what I mean? We've got to look to ourselves and make sure we're raising our children the best way we know how, you know.
Social conditioning. It's social conditioning, because on one end of the spectrum, you've got the promotion of interracial relationships, adverts, you know, black male, white, female, mixed race kids, and you've got the new dramas coming out, interracial relationships. You've got new dramas coming out, gay relationships. You know, it's conditioning. People don't do things until they see it on TV, or they see it on their favorite show or their favorite radio. Or do you see what I mean? As soon as someone you like condones something, it then becomes okay in your life. Not to me, I'm saying conventionally. So it's conditioning, and we have to be careful as black people not to make that reflect and perpetuate in our own home. So that's amazing.
Definitely. Okay, I just want to introduce somebody else from the UK, from Leighton. I believe it's Nicholas Underwood. So I'm going to introduce him on to have his say as well. So bear with me. Yep, you're live, my brother.
Oh, hello. Good evening, ladies.
Evening.
Hello.
Hello. I'd like to just say thank you for doing the show and allowing me to comment. One of the things I would like to say, I have a son, and also I was raised as an only child, single parent family, the same general story that seems to be out there. And I was raised by a lot of women. And the first thing I have to say, when being raised by a lot of women, you get a totally different view on how to act and operate within the world. And when you're looking, when you grow up and you realize you are in a male-dominated society, you then suddenly have to change the way you act, the way you think and feel, and your masculinity comes in first. So to attack that masculinity is to put you below the rest of the male population, no matter who they may be. And you have no one around to correct it, and then you are forced to assimilate into other people's culture, and other people's culture means there's usually less boundaries in regards to sex and life in general. So it is a direct attack via assimilation.
Thank you, my brother. Stay tuned. Bye-bye. Go ahead. Don't you not speak at once?
I'll let one of the girls go first. I seem to be talking a lot.
I can now, I guess, speak about what Will said. Has anyone seen the interview of Will's response to Jaden's behavior?
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm actually curious to know what he said.
He basically was saying that he made a joke and said maybe we went too far with encouraging them to be free in their creative expression. And he said that his son is just fearless, and that's the way that he chooses to express himself, and he doesn't really care about what people think. So that was what he kind of said, paraphrasing, of course. But another thing we have to appreciate, I think, is the difference in lifestyle. They were born into fame, essentially, and that life is completely different. So one we can't appreciate because we haven't experienced it. And I think their morals and conventions are completely different to ours. So to him, coming from money and coming from, the family he comes from, I don't think he sees it the way that we do. I don't think he understands the way that we look at it. I think to him, he's just getting put on a dress for a paycheck. And he can do that because his parents have told him that he can do what he likes. So I don't think there's a transgender for him. I just think he's trying to, I don't know, make a stance that, I could be creative. However, I feel to be creative.
Real quickly, somebody over here on YouTube, Organize Centralize, says the black man is the root of the problem because he is refusing to take responsibility for his children. What are your thoughts on that one?
I do feel that when it comes to our boys, I don't have a son personally. I've got a daughter. So me having a daughter, she needs a mum to show her to be a woman. And the same with boys as well. They need to be shown by their fathers to be a man. But that doesn't always mean that they have to be hypersexual, really masculine, really hard face. It's also them having that feminine side to them. And, when it comes to having a wife and that wife's upset, she needs comforting, it's for that man to tune into his feminine side and, sort of feel how his wife's feeling, but it's up to the father to show the boy to be a man.
I'm gonna get you on. Oh, sorry about that. I just realized. Sorry. Zion Lex actually has just called in from the USA. So I'm gonna actually get him on. He's one of our reigning titans on our other show, which is Talk with the Titans. So we're gonna get Zion Lex to have his say. Zion, if you're there. Shalom, shalom.
Am I on here?
Yep, you're on here live.
Okay, shalom, family. Listen, I just wanted to comment and say it's a beautiful thing to finally see the sisters having a platform. I know Sister Courtney's been doing this for a long time and she's been strong, but sometimes other voices need to be heard as well. So it's definitely a beautiful thing that the platform has opened up to welcome these sisters. I think a lot of them have a lot to say. I've been listening so far. The information is powerful. The responses from the women are even more powerful. And I'm definitely looking forward to more platforms like this.
Thank you. That's my brother Zion Lex. See, ladies, you lot are
That's
doing,
peace. Thank you, Zion.
you lot are doing an excellent job. So let's keep it flowing. I
Thank you.
actually think we've got somebody else who's calling in from New York as well. Is there somebody else there on the line as well? The number ending 036.
That's me.
Okay, that's you. So we've got somebody else calling from Huntsville. Number ending 942. Huntsville 942. Peace, King.
Oh,
Call me Callum. It's cool. Mr. Titans TV or Callum, whichever.
History and what happened in America, how they did the Native Indians, and so on and so forth. It just goes to show that they still try to create a way to steal and take the money back from the people. I just think it's sad that that they're trying to take the Beyonce thing and make it like a racial thing. And it just goes to show that our country is really broke. It started the slander with Bill Cosby. They did it with Michael Jackson. And I think a lot of celebrities see how bad that they did Michael Jackson as far as how Tony tried to steal his assets back from him, away from the family. And a lot of the celebrities, I believe, in the future, today, you're going to start them step out so they can imagine if after he did all the great stuff that he did for the people, and they did him like that, now I think the celebrities can only imagine how they might try to do them. So, as far as their black views go, they start to step out no matter what, whether it's Islam or whatever faith or,
Okay. So, can everybody hear?
how do you hear him, Callum?
Hello, hello. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm going to bring that back over to you.
I didn't actually hear what he said. Could you repeat some of the things that he said? He was really low. I don't know if any of the other girls heard him.
No, he was low.
Yeah, I didn't hear him either.
Callum, what did he say?
Ladies,
Yeah?
I don't think he could hear us.
go on. Speak away.
We didn't hear him.
Can you
I think he's off now. I think he's off. If you can't hear him, he's off.
Did you hear him though?
Keep it flowing because my volume is actually gone. So keep it flowing.
Right, okay. I'm not
All I
sure.
heard was he said something about Bill Cosby. That's all I heard.
What did you say, Grace?
All I heard was Bill Cosby. Like he said Bill Cosby. That's all I heard. I don't know if that's what he was trying to
going to start
bring up.
I think we need to address the black males really. What do you think? What do you think is happening with the rise in black homosexuals or black transgenders, and what do we actually think? Because we don't really talk about the homosexual stuff.
See, it's not coming. It's not part of my life. Do you know what I mean? There's no, I don't really. I'm not homophobic. I'm not going to judge anybody who wants to come out as gay, whether they're male or female. So I don't really have an opinion on it. That might come across as really weak or whatever, but I'm just doing me. Do you know what I mean? I'm busy concentrating on doing me and concentrate on my community where I live, because I've got to empower them. There's nobody within that realms that have been struggling with their sexual identity. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't affect me right now, you know, but within the community itself as a whole, you know, I do think that, you know, our black men do need to support the sisters more. They need to be more involved in their sons' or children's lives to empower the children, sitting down educating their boys. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of, you know, black boys out there that have absent fathers, you know, and there's a lot of, you know, I'm hearing in my community as well where, you know, there's black men that are putting down the black woman as well. Do you know what I mean? They need to stop that as well. Do you know what I mean? So, and we also need to stop slagging off the brothers as well. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I have an opinion. Oh, I'm sorry. Was somebody else speaking? I don't want to cut anybody off.
Go ahead.
I have an opinion about it. I mean, I can't, you know, I can't sit here and say that it doesn't affect me. I have children. I believe that, you know, when it comes to sex, when it comes to homosexuality and all of that kind of stuff, I believe that as a parent, I should have the right to teach my children about what, you know, about sexuality. I think it's something that's being pushed on them. I took my daughter to see a movie not too long ago. I thought it was a family-friendly movie. You know, they had ads before the movie started, and one of the ads was for this show that comes on ABC Family about a family where the parents got divorced and the father decided that he wanted to be transgender. My daughter's 7 years old. I haven't had the conversation with her about homosexuality. I'm here thinking that I'm spending time with my daughter doing something family-friendly, and this is being pushed on her in a family-friendly setting. That this family has to deal with their father now being transgender because he divorced his mother. So I can't take the stance that it doesn't affect me. It affects me. I have to answer questions that I wasn't prepared to answer right now, and I have to contend with the fact that someone who is like Jaden Smith is wearing a dress, and maybe my son might say, well, if he's wearing a dress and all these other guys are wearing a dress, and I walk down the street and guys are wearing dresses, why can't I put a dress on? Like, it affects me. It has something to do with me, whether I'm gay or not. So I think that people who, whatever people do behind closed doors is their business. They should have certain human rights, but just the same way that we don't want certain things pushed on us, I don't think that a person's lifestyle or their sexual preference needs to be pushed on me or my children. That's your preference, and that's it.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're pushing it. I mean, this is not something that, I mean, when has this all of a sudden come up? Recently, like in the last couple, you know, years, or the, you know, this has been pushed, and it's not like all of a sudden they want equality and they fight and push for their equality, you know, and it's like they demand to be accepted. And it's like, when is the black community going to be accepted? We ain't been accepted yet.
And like I said, I'm not against anybody having human rights. Like, I feel like you should have the right to work. You should have the right to be able to live at a certain place. You should have the right to be able to make money. All of those kinds of things I'm not against. But when you're pushing your lifestyle on me.
Right,
when I play on TV and see men in little shorts with dancing and with makeup and heels and all of that kind of stuff, and this is primetime TV. This isn't like late at night. This is like 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Right,
right. That's a problem to me. That's a problem, because now you're advertising what should be private. What you do in your sex life is your personal business. It's not for me to know. It's not for my kids to know. It's just, I just don't agree with that part of it.
I agree.
Okay, let me just quickly bring this. Hopefully the volume is working. I'm not too sure if it is or it isn't. Please let me know if you can hear our next caller in from the USA. So my brother from the USA, please finish off and have your say.
Okay, yeah, I was just, you know, first of all, I want to thank the ladies for bringing up this platform. How are you all doing this evening? Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay, great, great. You know, I was saying that, you know, if you look very closely at our celebrities and media and how they add the splendor onto them, the two goes to show us that, you know, for me personally, I honestly believe every fiber in my being all over the world, from the Indians were killed off all the way back to what happened in Africa for the stealing of the gold and diamonds. I believe that there's just a group of Caucasian people that have really and truly invented and maximized it, and they are the masters of evil. I think about the Beyonce thing that, you know, because it's not about the money. I seen in the comment thing that they were saying something about money. To one of the guests that she's about money, but it can't be about that. I mean, because that's we get so many millions, so many houses, cars, clothes. You know, even those that use the trade Michael Jackson as an example, and ODing, another source say that it was some high class rich people that actually took him out actually because when they got ready to look at archives, they said that the record label tried to steal back over 50% of his ownership. And if you listen to the song, They Don't Really Care About Us, that's what he was trying to bring out, and that's why he was murdered, you know. And so we need to just be careful of the media on how they portray, whether it be, you know, well, I could say all of our melanated sisters and brothers, you know. I don't think that Beyonce, as an example, should be boycotted against in Canada. I mean, because if she wanted to say something racist, she has the liberty to say or state that. So I just think that it's a slander campaign. I think that whoever has gathered up whatever intel is trying to think that she was trying to be racist to, you know, white people, quote unquote. I believe that they are part of the Caucasian agenda to just try to steal that one of the things and women, you know, after her great attributes in life and the things she did and done and the record she's broke, you know. But what I was saying to the other sister that was asking what was I saying about Bill Cosby, you know, all I was saying was I just found it ironic that all of a sudden you get these masses of people that come out and say, oh, well, he assaulted me in some kind of way. Now, do I believe he had interaction with him? Yes. But I believe, you know, when he got old and senile, I think he kind of forgot the elite rules. And that was their way of spanking him to try to put him in his place or put him away. Because he do, you know, when you have money, you do have power. And you can buy up what you want to buy up, you know. But the thing about that, and one thing I never hear people talk on, is that with that money, though, it comes with consequences. And I do believe that there are a group of select few that control the world, and you're not allowed to spend money the way you want to after you get in the or should I say the $100 million club plus, you know. And we were starting to see that, and you know, with the technology age, there's just no way to keep this stuff hidden no more. And so you see after your accomplishments, like I said, a group of evil people that try to come back and steal what you've accumulated. You know, because the fact of the matter is, in this game called life, you know, everybody will not make it, and you know, that's just a sad truth. You know, but on our own accord and living off of honest principles and morals, you can make it. You know.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I basically wanted to say.
Thank you, my brother. That was really appreciated. We're literally running really. We're actually over time at present. So I'm going to actually ask our panel members to just fire off as many points as you can real quickly to kind of come to the conclusion of this topic. As well as everybody who's actually watching right now, please hit the like button, give us a big thumbs up. Everybody on the panel, show me your big thumbs up. Show me a big thumbs up. Tiff, big thumbs up, big thumbs up. Tell them to give us a big thumbs up. Tiffany, big thumbs up. Courtney, big thumbs up. There we go. Please give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you're enjoying the show and you want to see more of our lovely sisters. This has been literally the first of many shows to come, hopefully, of trending topics where the women of our community have the lead. They have the voice. They have the platform to discuss anything that they would like to discuss at all. So please support the show, give us a like, and share this show as well with as many people as you can. And let's build something for the sisters right now. So sisters, can you please just fire off as many things as you possibly can, because we've literally reached the end of the show. I'll give that one to Tiff.
I think with this topic, my main concern, I guess, because I have my opinions on it, and I just think it's all down to conditioning and for it to fit in with the plan of those in power and what they have planned for the future of the Western world, etc., etc. So I guess bringing up our children in this time that we're living in and this in the Western community, we just have to be conscious of what's going on and decode a lot of messages put forth through multimedia. So yeah, I just think we should be conscious of what's happening, and I think that's what I got to say in that one.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I agree. I totally agree with Tiff. I mean, this is basically our lives. This is our people. We cannot be exterminated, and that's exactly what the agenda is. It's genocide. I support my people. We need to have more black love, more black families. Keep it black.
And for the next show, what I want to do? I need somebody who is watching the show right now, who wants to be part of the team. If you want to join the panel or be part of the administrative team, I need someone to actually, kind of admin the whole comment section. So I'm realizing that we're getting quite a lot of trolls actually coming through. So please, I need someone to actually monitor that and give me your say on what is taking place in the comment section, and bring up any comments and questions that anybody else has, because it's very difficult to actually get everything up onto the show right now. So actually, I'm going to bring this now over to Courtney for anything else that you would like to say.
I agree with what the sisters are saying. I do think we need to keep our eyes and our ears open. We don't need to fall for the agendas that are being pushed. But I also think at the same time, we do need to love each other, and I think we do need to give credit. Sometimes where credit is due. Sometimes we're so quick to tear each other down that when we are actually trying to take a step in the right direction, trying to do something for our own people, we got to contend with not only white supremacy, but we got to contend with our own people having something so negative to say about the things that we try to do to empower each other. So, yeah, I agree with the sisters, but I do also think that we need to love each other all the time, even when we don't agree.
That was perfect. That was perfect. You know what? What do I have to do right now? I don't think I can even close off the show as good as my sister just did.
Guys, for the other co-host whose technology has failed, sadly, but of course she didn't mean to disrespectfully use. It's her computer cut out. So.
No problem. As well, please, if you want to actually carry on the discussion, you can actually join the Talk with the Titans Facebook page to join us, as well as go inside of the events page. The events page is actually called Trending Topics, the Beyonce Backlash. If you go in there, you'll be able to join the conversation, and as well, if you want to phone in and have a talk with the sisters behind the scenes as well, the number is literally down there in the description box and right on my screen. If you want to get a hold of me, it's right there on the screen. Okay. So you've literally been watching the very first installment of Trending Topics. We've had our fabulous co-hosts. We've had Tiff from the UK, Tiffany from America, Courtney, as well as Racheti from the UK as well. So we've had so many great questions and comments flooding through all throughout London, UK, Manchester, everywhere, Leighton, asking really great questions, and hopefully you'll keep in contact with us some more. But this has been Trending Topics, and we're now signing out, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.